Anything dipped in this piri oil is fire. 5 out of 5.
Yo, this got to be one of the craziest things with the eyeball in there. Very few people know much about Portugal. If we do a quick Google search, it shows that it's a small country surrounded by Spain, that it's the oldest country in Western Europe. It used to be a world superpower and has a language spoken by over 250 million people globally. But to be honest, most people are only going to know Portugal as being famous for soccer and specifically Cristiano Ronaldo. Today, we're with our friend from New York City, Joey Batts, who is the unofficial diplomat of Portugal, and he's going to break down why people need to stop sleeping on Portuguese food and culture. Let's go.
All right, we have made it to Newark, New Jersey, and we are in the middle of Little Portugal right now. And we are with the most Portuguese guy we could find, Joey Batts.
That's right, baby. What's going on, guys?
With, of course, our Italian-American friend, we got Marco here.
What's up, everybody?
Today, we have a very special episode of The World NY. We are going to be exploring Europe's least known country.
Joey, I know you feel some type of way about this.
I definitely feel like Portugal is 100% one of the most underrated countries in Europe, and I'm hoping today that we can taste some of the best parts of it.
All right, Joey, you not only own one of the most poppin' Portuguese cafes in the East Coast, but you also are an insider to this community, so you're gonna show us some really good spots.
Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm in Newark at least once every other week. Anytime I want to have a good, authentic Portuguese meal, because I can't really get it in Manhattan, so.
We can't go to the Portuguese spots in Manhattan, right?
Well, because, for starters, there really aren't any. Newark is one of the 2 largest Portuguese communities on the East Coast, so we're gonna start at one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Seabras Marisqueira. I've known about this place for years. My mother brought me here a long time ago. It's a staple, and it's very much an authentic Lisbon seafood restaurant. My family's from the northeast mountains of Portugal, right by the border of Galicia. It's a very different experience than the city.
Little Portugal.
Vamos pessoal.
What's going on, everybody? I gotta give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Helix. They are a premium mattress in the box company that's delivering straight to your door. Right now, you can get $200 off your first purchase if you use my code right down below, and they're offering a 100-night sleep trial period, meaning that you can try a mattress and then return it if you don't like it. So if you remember back in July, I actually took a sleep quiz on their website and they determined that I should get the Dawn Luxe Helix mattress, and I've been sleeping on it ever since, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm super satisfied. My sleep has been super good. I'm a side and back sleeper, and I wanted the most firm one that I could possibly get. Now, I think if you want a super rock hard bed, this might not be the mattress for you, but if you want enough support and you want it soft enough so that you can sink in a little bit, then definitely check them out. I've actually been rocking with the Helix pillow, and I've never woken up with neck pains from this. I don't think I've had a single nightmare from using this pillow, and I've tried all those special contoured ergonomic pillows that you can order from other places, but this one is working great, to be honest. And just a testament to show you how good of sleep I've been getting. I've been waking up at 8 a.m., which is super early for me. So I've just gotten a good night of sleep. It just helps me sleep good, just period. And not to mention, they even sent me this beautiful and easy to assemble bed frame. It's made out of 100% American Appalachian hardwood. It took me like 3 minutes to put together because all the wood slats are cut just perfectly to fit together without any tools and screws. So Helix is just making sleeping great, just super easy for you. So I love my Helix mattress. If you guys are interested, definitely check them out at helixsleep.com/fungbros. If you use that link, you can get up to $200 off your first purchase. And remember, you get a 100-day sleep trial period, meaning that you can try the mattress out for almost 3 months, and then you can return it if you don't like it. So that's a great deal. Shout out to Helix, and watch the rest of this video.
Start with some really staple Portuguese appetizers. One of them is going to be camarão aguilho, which is like a garlic wine shrimp, and the other one is going to be the baby clams, which are cockles in a white wine sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really good stuff. This is called croquetas de carne, which is basically meat croquettes. I don't normally eat them with cheese on it, so I'm really curious to see what this tastes like.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to try this, man.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Wow.
It's a croquette, definitely different from Italian croquette, but really, really good. I love the sauce and the cheese on that.
Yo, they got the hot sauce. I'm gonna throw that in the
man.
croquette, man.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Let me get that.
Just like with any Italian restaurant or household, there's always nice, warm, fresh bread on the table, so we can dunk and into the. Oh wow, what we got there? Now that's garlic bread.
Oh, I knew I saw something garlicky.
When I was doing my research for this video, that Portugal, of all the countries in that region, is probably the most traditional.
Aside from maybe the main cities like Lisbon and Porto, you venture out and you're literally taking a step back in time, and it is going to feel that way.
Right, and that's actually where your family's from, right?
My family is from the northeast mountains of Portugal, right on the border of Galicia, Spain. We normally don't say the village name because nobody will ever know that. We say the closest city. So my father, Montalegre, my mother, Boticas. Yeah, I'm kind of a Portuguese country boy, but I'm also American, and I live in New York City, so I get both sides of it.
Joey, what are we looking at?
Guys, so this is a very typical appetizer in any Portuguese restaurant. It's choriça assada. So they fill the clay pig with some moonshine, just enough, light it on fire, and they bring it out. This right here is called amêijoas à bolhão pato. I believe this is in a white wine sauce. Super, super tasty and very light. This here is also another typical Portuguese appetizer. It's camarão aguilho, and it's basically garlic wine shrimp.
Immediately, Andrew, it kind of looks like, for me, like Cantonese food. This is lapchang. This is like the, garlic shrimp, and then that's clams.
To relate it to the Asian side, man, that actually has the color of chashu. So it's like a little bit red, a little bit roasted.
How do you describe it to people, man? Like, how do you describe Portuguese food? Because a lot of people in America are familiar with Italian food. They're familiar with French food.
I always find it difficult to describe because I feel like we eat everything. But essentially, Portuguese food is going to be a derivative of a lot of different things, stemming from the days of exploration, where they were bartering all over the planet.
Portuguese wines, you said are like the best value, right?
So Portuguese wines are winning awards for several years now, but I feel like they're not marketing them properly, mostly because I believe Portuguese people are very modest. They're not really good marketers.
One thing I've noticed about just even being in this restaurant and talking to everybody, Portuguese people are really polite, and they're really calm, and they're really nice, and not arrogant like Italians.
They're like doves, us Italians, we're the hawks.
Yeah, this is chorizo, obviously sort of same word as the Spanish chorizo.
Yep. Marinated pork.
I like it a lot. Really dense, almost kind of reminds me of a Polish kielbasa, but more flavor.
You can actually see one side of the sausage is completely meat.
Yeah.
It's not grounded up. This is not like your typical sausage.
Not ground up at all. Camarão aguilho.
Camarón aguilho.
This garlic shrimp is so tasty. It's got huge chunks of garlic, lots of shrimp.
Little shrimp taco with it with the bread.
Yo, this is fire. Everything we had has been hitting 5 out of 5.
That shrimp lived up to how I thought it was gonna taste.
Right? These are called amêijoas à bolhão pato. And you can see it's made with again, white wine. Wine is a very, very common thing in all of our sauces.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. That's delicious. Oh my God.
The base is definitely Mediterranean, but it totally does its own thing on top of that.
What I want to hear.
That clams with the wine sauce is a taste I never tasted before. And even eating from like Italian food, we have clams with wine sauce. Yeah, with clams, but that might be definitely better.
I'm gonna do both sauces right here.
Oh man.
Watch out
Of
now.
the 3 appetizers, round 1 here at Ciabra,
Oh.
what was your favorite?
I'm a big sausage guy, so I would probably have to go with
I'm just kidding.
no pause.
I gotta go with the shrimp. The
Yeah,
shrimp was the best,
I was going with the
honestly,
shrimp.
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And then you dip it in the bread, the best.
I'm rolling with the clams. The clams were really light. They let them shine. I mean, to be honest, I love how it's not overpowering. Round 2 here at Marisqueira, we got the seafood mains.
What are we looking at, Joey? Because I see squids and types of prawn.
Here we have grilled squid, or as most Americans know, calamari, except this is what's inside that crispy calamari you're usually used to.
No, what is this dish? It looks like a pile of potatoes with egg on top.
Of all the plates here, this one is the most typical of Portugal. This one's got codfish, or bacalhau, and this plate is specifically called bacalhau a gomes sa. It's got shredded up pieces of codfish, potatoes, eggs, onions, oil, vinegar. Here we just got tiger prawns, man. I don't even know how to describe tiger prawns. They are just big old tiger prawns.
Marco, you grew up eating a lot of seafood as
A
well.
lot, yeah, a lot of seafood, especially calamari, but it was always fried. Never had it grilled, which looks amazing, and honestly, it's a healthier option as well.
Lules grilladas.
Lulas grilladas.
The ends of it are almost like crispy.
You guys gotta try the hot sauce on that.
It really lets just the natural flavor of the squid shine, but without any of the squidiness that people don't like.
This plate is called bacalhau a gomes de sa.
Bacalhau.
Bacalhau.
So good.
Really light, really light.
I've never kind of had like a mashed up fish dish.
Yep. And by the way, you can absolutely, and I do this all the time, I mix it with rice.
For me, with the bacalhau, I liked it the more and more I ate it. Because initially it kind of hit me with the cod flavor, and that's not everybody's favorite fish. But then the more I ate it, I was like, man, this is hearty. It's like really touching my soul.
It's like this reminds me of like a lot of like Italian food. Like it's very comfort food. It's like, you know.
All right, Joey, what do we have?
These are called gambas grilladas, which is a very large shrimp, butterflied open and grilled.
that.
Lather
Dress it up in some piri piri sauce here, homemade spicy sauce.
Joey, what can you tell us about like Portuguese being the world's first like explorers?
They were the original, I guess, discoverers. They circumnavigated the globe with people like Henry the Navigator, Fernando Magalhães. A lot of that reflects in the food and the cuisine that we eat.
Portuguese tiger prawns.
Gambas grelhadas.
God, it's so good.
Way lighter than I thought it was gonna be. Right.
This peri peri garlic oil right here, it is like straight 5 out of 5. You can put this on anything. I'm about to put it on
Anything.
Oh! Mix it up.
You know what it is? I love it because you guys have melted butter, but it's melted butter with a purpose. It's not just like melted butter for the sake of having melted butter. Yo, I hate to pick another, sea creature as the winner, but I think I'm gonna go with the tiger prawn for me this round.
You know what? I gotta go with the tiger prawn too. That was delicious, especially with that butter on there.
Straight 5 out of 5, easy.
Yeah.
Bacalhau Gomes Asa, that is my favorite. But you put the peri peri oil on top of it.
That's my favorite, for sure.
All right, you guys, round 3 here at Seabra. What are we looking at? Because I see a bunch of dishes. I mean, I recognize that, but these two are new to me.
Yeah, this is basically Alaskan king crabs done a Portuguese style. This is a very typical, actually both of these, but this is called carne de porco alentejana, which is cubes of pork, cubes of potato, and a white wine sauce with clams over. And then this is called assordo de marisco. This is kind of like, and you made a good point, you said it was like bread pudding, because it's bread, white wine, eggs, seafood, cilantro, all mixed up.
Assorda de marisco.
Ooh.
Guys, it kind of looks like a whole bunch of stuff blended up and mashed together, but I can see the mussels, the clams, and the shrimp. So trust me, this is not a cheap food.
Yo, Joey, man, I love to see it because it's like you're from your family's from Europe, but then I feel like you have so many like immigrant-y kind of like mannerisms too. You don't think of someone who looks like you as an immigrant.
I actually get this a lot at my shop, and when I travel, everybody always just thinks I'm just the gringo from America. But I speak Portuguese fluently, and I speak Spanish too. And I love kizomba. I love dancing the Afro beats I have playing at my shop all the time. So I like to think that I'm like a bit of a chameleon.
Do you consider yourself white?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, no. I would say that I'm probably more drawn to the Latin culture.
Latin-based cultures.
Mostly because I like to dance, and I like that they're always partying.
King crab with the piri piri sauce. I'm not gonna, I couldn't get the name again, but this is good. Yo, did you
Mario
mix it?
was right on.
Of course, yeah, right here.
Oh my God. That's Andrew. That's the first oil I've tried in a while where I was like, yo, what is this? Can you get this at the store?
Anything dipped in this peri peri oil is fire. 5 out of 5.
So here we got a very, on any menu at any good Portuguese restaurant, carne porco alentejana. You got cubes of pork, cubes of potato.
Those are not
clams.
French fries.
Those are not French fries. It's more like I don't know, like roasted potatoes or something like that.
Is there like a Portuguese mafia, like the same way there is like a Sicilian mob?
Not that I know of like today, but
The gangsters thing is not part of the Portuguese American experience.
not really. Not that I know.
Well, that's a good stereotype not to have. I'll tell you that.
Carne de porco alentejana.
Impressed right now. Oh my goodness. That's like the tastiest potato I think I've ever had. Yeah,
It's not too salty. It's not too sweet.
So
Yo, man, pass the king crab legs, man. I gotta go. What was your guys' favorite? For me, the king crab. Oh my goodness.
it was right on.
This is amazing. And that's a lot. And that's saying a
You know
lot.
why that's your number one thing? Is because we never order king crab at the restaurant ourselves because it's too expensive.
That is true.
Oh, my favorite was definitely the pork and potatoes. The flavors that were in there were exceptional.
Man, I think my favorite was actually the clam dishes overall, but also just anything with the peri peri oil. Anything.
Anything.
Just-
Bam! Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I had never really enjoyed an assorted marisco. This is my first time, even for me, and I'm really loving it. And I'm loving it the way Mario suggested, where we mix the king crab meat in there. That was delicious.
Mario, you're the real MVP today.
Real
know
MVP.
that. There we go. Mario.
All right, you guys, we are wrapping up here at Seabra, but we're not done. We got a whole crawl through Little Portugal. We're gonna head back to Joey Bat's Cafe in the Lower East Side. I gotta say, man, I give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, sometimes we go on these food videos and the food is good, but I don't always enjoy it. But the food was not only interesting to me, but I enjoyed it a lot here.
I just want to say this was exceptional. My first time ever having Portuguese food, and I'll definitely have it a second time, a third, a fourth, a fifth.
Okay, continuing. We're in front of a very typical, Portuguese bakery?
Yeah, it's called Nova Aliança Bakery. These are the kind of places you see on every corner in Lisbon. You do speak English or you don't? Ah, não, ok, tá bem, pode falar português, sem problema. Não tens nada. Eu estava a perguntar se há outra coisa que eu posso. Muito obrigado.
It's all yellow one, and then there's a brown sugar.
All right, but yeah, I mean, this is the first pastel de nata of the day. I'm sure one of many.
Why don't you break it up, man? Marco, you never had
I
one.
never had
Marco,
one
you
either,
break it up.
yeah.
Here. The true Portuguese pastel de nata.
Oh, wow.
This one's a lot sweeter.
Big time sweet. The outer edge is kind of crumbly as opposed to flaky. Like it's not crunching as much.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
why
kind
this
of
reminds me of the Chinese version.
Exactly.
This one reminds me of the Chinese version a lot.
100%.
I feel like
100%.
coffee right now would be the best with this. Yeah.
That tasted essentially like creme brulee in a cup.
What do you rank these? If yours are a 5 out of 5.
Man, so basically before I started the business, this is what I would say is the typical of any Portuguese bakery in the United States. This does not compare to those in Lisbon at all. All right, okay, I'm sorry. I gotta give it like a 2 out of 5, man. I'm really not impressed with it. I'm sorry.
I mean,
You do own your own brand, by the way.
You do run a shop that
Obviously.
sells that.
And I'm super passionate about it, and I need it to be a certain, like it's gotta be certain way.
All right, you guys, we are in front of one of the only authentic Portuguese supermarkets that I am aware of in the world.
This is like going to the first 99 ranch. This
not,
is it.
not in the world, I'm sorry, in America. Where are we at?
So this is called Seabras Supermarket. It's a chain of supermarkets that are basically in either Portuguese or Brazilian communities, not just in the Northeast, but also in like Florida, Orlando. They have one down there.
So of course, guys, at this market, you are gonna have a mixture of some Italian, Latin, you know, even some American stuff, obviously. So this is the salted cod that we were just eating in the bacalhau. Bro, I heard that this is what they were bringing like on ships and stuff to last a long time while they were exploring.
During the exploration period back in like the 1400s, it's like you needed food that could last.
Yo, this got to be one of the craziest things with the eyeball in there. Yo, that's the piggy.
And sleep with his eyes open.
But dude, growing up, every Thursday, my father would come back from the slaughterhouse and the truck would be filled with stuff like this and like that. So like I'd have the white jacket on. I always wonder what my neighbors were thinking. I'm like, in the middle of the night, I'm throwing bodies over my shoulder.
We secured the piri-piri. We secured the piri-piri.
Yo, I got some very, very Portuguese things in this bag.
All right, you guys, we made it all the way back from Newark, New Jersey, from Little Portugal. Now we are in front of Joey Batts, your spot in the LES, right? You got a couple locations, but this is the one.
Yeah, the Allen Street is I love the Lower East Side. Been here 8 years now. This is my main one, and then I have another one in Rockefeller Plaza. One thing is that everything we sell here in terms of food or drink is authentic Portuguese, whether it's the liquor or the pastries or the food or whatever. But the vibe is very much more diverse. I play Latin music, I have live Brazilian music, we have comedy shows, I got Kizomba music, a little bit of everything, like a reflection of my personality.
And I remember you telling me early, especially early on in the early days, most of your customers were Chinese, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, especially like before all this went up, I would say somewhere between like 25-30% of my customers were Asian community. I really had to figure out how to sell to Americans to get them even to try a sample. But with the Asian community, they already know what an egg tart is. So it's just like, oh, this is an authentic Portuguese egg tart. I'll try that.
And well, we're gonna get more into that, but first of all, we gotta take a look at what they're serving up here at Joey Batts Cafe. The spread has arrived here at Joey Batts Cafe.
So what we have here is pastéis de nata, both the original style and the new chocolate version that I've introduced like literally last week.
And
Not traditional.
Non-traditional.
You said people in Portugal are mad at this.
They're not. This is actually not what you'd get there.
I heard this is an abomination.
It is.
to
And you know
this.
what? It's a tasty f***ing abomination. So I'm okay with that.
Now, take us back. What is the pastel de nata, and how does it relate to Chinese people?
So, yeah, obviously, Macau was a Portuguese colony for I think almost 500 years. That's where the exposure to pastéis de nata came from, through Macau. The original pastéis de nata were invented in the Geronimo's Monastery in the Belém aspect of Lisbon, in the Belém part of Lisbon. They were selling them to the sugar refinery across the street in 1834. That monastery closed. They sold the recipe to the refinery. That refinery is still selling them today since 1837. Because there's such a huge Asian community in New York and around the world, it got so popular so fast that nobody knows about the Portugal one.
Isn't it sort of like how more people are familiar with Italian-American pizza than
exactly.
regular,
Exactly.
the OG pizza?
100%.
Absolutely.
I completely agree with
This
you.
is the original version, guys.
And I think this is
we
gonna be
didn't
better
invent
than
it.
chocolate.
Pastel de nata, the original dantat.
Original egg tart.
Yeah, we like to call them natas for short. It's easier to say it.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Very different, right?
I also love, the Chinese derivative style.
but I got to tell you, these are the best egg tarts in the city.
Yo,
Yeah,
but this is,
absolutely.
guys, this is packing the sweets. This is delicious. This is exactly what a dessert pastry should taste like. And I cannot believe that this recipe is hundreds of years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I've had some other 100-year-old pastries before from other countries. I
tremendous.
don't like them.
So this is going to be not like a traditional croissant. Obviously, it's soft and doughy. Opposite of the nata, where it's got to be flaky. So I want this always served warm, and it's going to be a little sweet too, like a little softy sweet. Wow, yeah, wow.
That tastes similar to what we call in Cantonese a kai mei bao, and that's like shredded coconut. I mean,
Dude, honestly,
they probably got it from you guys. They probably got it from you
We
guys.
probably-
But like, do you feel like you're creating Portuguese American culture right now? Is this something that, I don't know if you think about it that way, but you might be.
I see exactly what you're saying now, and that's 100% possible. I guess just coming up with a recipe of something that I ate growing up, but then I'm like, you know what, let's tweak this because I think Americans will much more appreciate this, and then it could become mainstream.
And even I think, you know, from where your shop is in Lower East Side, is a melting pot of different people that would love to try everything you have there, and it's so different and unique.
All right, thank you everybody for watching that Portuguese episode of The World NY. We're about to end it off here with a shot of, what is
Extra
it?
Flavor. This is aguardente. See, everybody in the New York knows Colombian aguardente, but they don't know that we have it as well. And
So
it's
before
twice
we
the strength.
So
Before we
wait.
take this shot, Marco, any takeaways? You're Italian American, Sicilian.
It was
Napoli
a pleasant experience to do this with you guys and my Mediterranean brother right here. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
It really was a pleasure.
Mediterranean and Lower East Side,
And
brother.
Lower East Side, New York,
Olive
baby.
oil, bros.
That's olive oil, bros.
Olive
bros.
Baby. Cheers.
Salute,
Salud.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and until next time, we out. Peace.
I think Portuguese wine is super underrated. We win awards all the time, but I kind of think that one of the major problems is it's priced so low that people assume that it's not as good until they try it and they're like, yo, this is delicious.